Recently, between 3060 laptops, I decided to get my hands on an older Lenovo Legion Y530. This particular one is running an i7 8750 and also a GTX 1060 6GB model. For the design of the Y530 is still rather modern considering it came out in 2018. Also, the bezels on it are fairly narrow. They were smaller than the new Acer Nitro 5 that I'd recently purchased. So the actual appearance of this machine does not look like it's from 2018. The keyboard is typical Lenovo style of keyboard, and the trackpad itself is perfectly adequate. I found with this the I/O to be fairly decent, and I also liked how the majority of it was at the back, as opposed to most modern laptops that I've been purchasing that have the I/O on the left and the right hand side, with the rear usually exclusively used for air vents. The hinge on it and the display did actually give it a bit more of a newer appearance than it really was. It was slightly off-centered, and it wasn't actually all the way to the back of the machine, where most laptops open like a book. Underneath, I found cooling to be extremely adequate, slightly raised feet on here, and plenty of ventilation for the fans to draw in cool air and expel it out the back and the sides. Upgrade-wise, there was 2 RAM slots available there. You could upgrade a single NVMe, a single 2.5-inch drive, and the cooling on this one to be extremely adequate for what it was. With the 8750H, a 6-core 12-threaded processor, not really getting too much of an improvement in recent models, and the GTX 1060 is getting a bit tired by today's standards. But as we can see here, gameplay-wise, using GDA5 as a benchmark tool, you can see the FPS on it to be relatively decent, even outperforming some modern machines with more powerful graphics cards, mainly due to the requirement of a decent processor to also feed that graphics card. So this compared to an Acer Nitro 5 with a quad-core and a 3060, I found that this older 3-year-old laptop would produce significantly higher FPS. Even games like Battlefield 1, I found to play quite comfortably at 1080 with most of the settings set on medium. So it doesn't take full advantage of the 120Hz display, but it still plays it extremely well and comfortably. Now if we go to something extremely modern, Cyberpunk 2077, as you can see the GTX 1060 has met its match and it is running at 100 or virtually 100%, 99% utilization, and it cannot possibly render any more frames. Granted, you could drop the resolution, possibly drop the graphics details, but this will just be running slightly above console FPS. So if you're not playing the most bleeding edge games that are out there, playing older games like Battlefield 1, GTA, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, this machine is still quite adequate for that, even in 2021.